But what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of homeworks. You're going to hand them in so homeworks you're going to hand them in once a week on Mondays. So right now I'll even hand it out. This is your first homework assignment. Now I also give you guys warning. This always happens every summer. But the first homework assignment is always a little longer than they should be. But the reason for that is because we want to know what too long is to get an idea of exactly how many problems we should give. And also we're excited. So we have like 2 weeks to plan this homework, while the other homeworks are going to have less time, so they're not going to be as long. But the reason I'm bringing that up, so this one is probably longer. In general, though, they're going to be hard. I don't think that there's going to be many homeworks where you can sit down and do them Sunday night. Or any homeworks you can sit down and do Sunday night. So I recommend starting them off today. You know, I have outsiders tomorrow where you can do stuff. But this is actually really this is the first homework, but I'm actually going to assign homework 0. So homework 0, this one's really easy. What I want you guys to do, now you don't have to do it now, but you'll get out a piece of paper, and you're going to put your name on it. You're going to put your email on it. You're going to put, what else do I want to put in my notes? Oh yeah, right. Your major, intended major is enough. I mean, or just roughly what, if you had to commit to something now, what you commit to syllabus and the homework's going around. Your last math class. What else do I want? I probably want your proofs. So this is basically what's your experience with proofs? Maybe I'll put proofs question mark. Like, it can be yes or no, but I mean, it'd be nice if you go like, well, you know, I've taken the intro to proofs kind of course, or I've never written a proof in my life, or I'm such an expert in proof, but you should give me a PhD right now. Whatever, but just give me like a nice little answer for this. What else do I want? I wanted one of the things. Oh yeah, I always ask you. A fun fact. I leave this to your imagination. I mean, most people choose to give me some facts about themselves. That's fine. If you want to try something else, that's fine. But fun fact is interesting. Now, but why is this homework not the most the easiest thing in the world? This homework is due in my office hours. It's not even an interesting ringtone. But, okay, that's fine. Try not to, I better do this too. But try and make sure your cell phones don't go off in class. I'm just as guilty. But so the reason this is interesting is doing my office hours. So to turn this in, you can't hand this to me on your way out of class. You actually have to make it to one of these office hours. And if you can't, I should have this. If you can't email me, I already said. But I also allow office hours by appointment. So if you really need to meet with me, feel free to send me an email ahead of time, and we'll schedule something. I'm just generally warning you, after 2-ish, it's usually my research time, which means, well, actually really just means that my advisor might call me in at any moment and say, we need to meet about this. That means I'm not available. I'm getting schooled and not that, right? Alright, so the main reason I give this homework is literally, you're going to come in, you're going to hand it to me, I'm going to read it through, and I'm going to say hi. This is the best way I have to get to know everyone's names. There's 40 of you, I'm horrible with names. I'll try to have them by the end of the week, but probably by the end of next week I will. But this is one chance I get to talk to every single one of you one-on-one for at least a few seconds. I'll probably ask you about your fun fact. I tend to think I have some jack of all trades kind of thing going on. So I've done a lot of stuff, so I usually can say something about most fun facts. But this is important to me. So please try to get it done this week. And if you really can't, also again, if you can't make my office hours, please email me. And I'll try to move one of the hours somewhere else. Okay. What else did I want? I think that's it for homework. Right, quizzes. So it says on here, but quizzes will be held. There'll be one quiz every Thursday. Except for, so there's 8 Thursdays, right? There's 8 weeks. One of them has a midterm, one of them has a final. So the other 6, there will be a quiz. Now these quizzes aren't meant to be the hardest thing in the world. They're not meant to really grill you and kill you. These are just meant to make sure you guys are keeping up with the reading, keeping up with what I'm doing in lecture. So it may consist of definitions and stuff like this. It may just be simple proof techniques just to see if you can apply something I showed in class. But they're not going to take more than 15, 20 minutes. So it's not going to be some giant, it's not a midterm in itself. But the reason I have those is because I'm only giving one midterm. It'd be really kind of lame to get your first feedback on this course in 4 weeks, right? So that's why I'm going to give one at the end of on Thursday. You can probably grab a seat over there. Well, okay. So great. So there'll be quizzes, but they're not too bad. And they're really just pace keepers. So everyone, I was always a bad student. I mean, it's really funny because I like expect my students to be good students, but I was an awful student when I was a student. Like when I was an undergrad. Like I was the kind of guy who's like, oh, I have a midterm tomorrow. I better start reading chapters and figure out what's going on. But you shouldn't really be doing that in this course. I specifically remember this course as kind of an annoying course to try to crack for. But okay. So that covers quizzes. So the other two things, there's a midterm on the 4th week. So I wrote it down. The midterm is on July 14th. So that's the 4th week of class that Thursday. So it's literally the halfway point. Okay. So I should talk about the total grading in a second. The midterm is going to be a 2-hour exam in this class, and I'll write it, and I'll have all my friends take it. So hopefully by the time you guys get it, it's a nice polished, nice version and everything. And then at the 8-week mark, at the end of the class, there's a final. Also 2 hours and all that. Okay. So how is your final grade going to be computed? Well, so you're going to be turning in homeworks every Monday. So that'll be 7 homeworks. I'm going to drop one of those homeworks. Because everybody at some point either has too much to do or something else comes up. So you have to miss it. So there's no makeup homeworks. I don't take late homework because our grader is, I've sort of spoken to the grader. We haven't quite worked out how the grading's going to go exactly. But the grader I'm going to meet with her Monday and hand her the stack of homework. After I hand her the stack of homeworks, it's a pain to track her down. It took me like a week to track her down just to meet with her once. So no late homeworks. But if you miss turning in a homework, you can drop one. The point is and it's due roughly at the beginning of class. I often go over a few homework problems before I take them, but especially in this class, it's extremely difficult to write up a good solution. Like even just copying what I wrote on the board. It's very difficult. So I do recommend you do all the problems or attempt all the problems beforehand, or ask me my outsiders if you can't do it, right? Great. So how's the final? So you're going to turn in these 7 homeworks. I'm going to drop one. There's 6 homeworks. I'm going to with those 6 homeworks, I'm going to give you a letter grade. How that works out is, it depends. So I have a policy that 90% is at least an A minus, 80% is at least a B minus, so on and so forth. So if you get over a 90%, you get an A. But I usually give, it depends on the semester and depends on the homeworks I'm giving. Like I think last summer I taught 113, and I think like an 80 was an A minus, right? And the thing is, I'll figure that out at the end. But then you'll get some homework grade, right? So this will be your homework grade. And then I'll do the same with quizzes. I'm not planning on dropping a quiz. I don't think I said it yet. Because there's only 6 quizzes anyway. You're going to get some grade here. Let's say maybe quizzes just aren't your thing, or you get a B minus. Fine. You have then you have a midterm. You'll put a grade down for this. I don't know. Let's say you got a B on the midterm, and then you have a final. Let's say you really just had a really bad time with the final. What you're going to do is you're going to write down the grade of the final class. Now you're going to turn each of these. I'm just telling you how I'm going to compute your final grade. So let's say this is what you got. Well, you're going to you got to be planning semester sort of, but homework was throughout the semester. Maybe just not a good test taker or any class thing. Okay. The point is you're going to turn all these into a GPA. The way you do this is instead of out of 4, I make it out of 12 because integers are easier to round to, as you'll see in a second. So an A is a 12, a B is a 9, but a B minus is an 8. A B is a 9, and a C is a 6. So you just multiply what the GPA should be by 3. And the plus or minus is just plus or minus 1. Alright? And you'll get these numbers. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at these 3 middle numbers. I'm going to drop the lowest. Or maybe I'll put X over it. And then I'm going to average what's left. And then I'm going to round to the nearest integer, and that's your grade. So it's extremely easy to figure out what your grade is, because on the midterm, you'll get back number grade. You'll get a letter grade. And then I will tell you your homework grade. Well, that's a good question. When will I tell you your homework grade? Probably, hopefully the Tuesday. That's up to the grader, really. But I'll have all but the last homework ready by Tuesday before the final. Hopefully she can get that one homework graded overnight, and I can tell you your homework grade on Tuesday. But then the point is, this is the only grade that will be sort of mysterious. I guess the quiz will be sort of mysterious, but these 2 will be obvious, and it's a nice little system. Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but in general, it's harder to fail.